Hello, everyone. Welcome to Melody of Music, another podcast. It's been a while since we've done one of these. Our last one was, of course, with Matt Clark Music. Today we're joined with Georgia Scarlett again.
Hello.
Um, so we're going to go through a bit about Georgia today, find out a bit more about her as a musician, her as a brand, her as a person, and then find out a bit more about her songs that she's released on Spotify. So, Georgia, out of curiosity,
Yes.
I've seen that you've done a lot of gigs recently
Yeah.
on Instagram. Out of curiosity, what is your favorite song to perform?
Mm. As a band or as a solo artist?
Everyone.
Because I think I'd have different answers.
Okay, well, why don't you tell first the answer for the solo and then as the band?
For a solo performance, um, I do always enjoy playing Can't Stop Time because it is really emotional and raw. I mean, that's how it's recorded, just as pretty much a live performance. So it feels very natural to play it that way. And I always seem to get a nice reaction from people because it's very emotional. I can connect with people more.
Yeah.
With the band, um, that high energy is really fun and favorite song to play with the band. And I think favorite song for people to listen to playing with the band is a song called Bookworm.
Okay.
It's really upbeat, high energy, fun, lots of metaphors in the lyrics. So I think people can have a bit of fun with that one.
Okay. So, that song Bookworm, is that one that you've released or is that a cover of someone's?
It is a part of my debut album, which will be coming out in the near future, most likely to be the fourth single. So I haven't released it yet, but we're currently in the process of recording it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to that. Um, so, out of curiosity, based on that question, is there any song that you would want to re-record? So this is a song that's already been released by someone else. Is there one in particular that strikes home that you'd want to do yourself?
A song that I'd like to cover and
Yeah,
release.
yeah.
Hmm. There's two songs that are songs that I play in my sets, that are the kinds of songs that I've found and gone, damn, I really wish I wrote that. Like, I wish that was my song.
Yeah.
And that's Don't Do Me Good by Casey Musgraves and Maddie Diaz. It's a really beautiful song, really beautiful, simple lyrics,
Yeah,
really simple song that people can connect to, but it's just crafted so beautifully.
yeah.
And the other one that I really connect to is Atahura by Williams from New Zealand. And it's got a little bit of Maori in the song. And yeah, it's about connecting kind of with the earth and not taking things for granted in
Oh, nice.
the
Okay,
natural world around us. Yeah.
nice. Well, another question which I've got is who who inspired you to make music? Because I know you've probably got inspirations from artists who inspire
Mm,
style of music. Is there
mm,
anyone in your life who has been a huge
mm.
inspiration?
It's interesting because there's some of those artists, I know myself because I interview artists a lot as well. I'm normally on the other side where you are. And a lot of artists have that one person that they grew up listening to or a family member who kind of inspired them. Whereas I feel like I had to find music myself. I didn't come from a greatly musical family. They had an appreciation for music, but no one was really prominent in my life who inspired me to play music. I came across it really naturally through school and kind of had to find it myself. And then later down the track, I gained some musical inspirations when I was listening to music and really broadening my understanding of the music industry myself. So people like Lisa Mitchell, Meg Mac, those were two artists I came across probably quite early when I was in about year 7. And I went, wow, they're really cool women doing really cool things in the music industry. I'd like to be like that. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well, on your Spotify, um,
Yeah.
so this is part of me trying to get to know you a bit more beforehand. Um,
Mm.
it says Keith Urban, who
Yes.
is quite a big name,
Yeah.
said that you're in a lane of your own. Firstly, how did
Yeah.
you get Keith
I
Urban
did.
to describe your musical style? And secondly, what do you believe he meant by that?
Yeah.
What's the main draw
Um,
to
I
your
I love that question. I've had some friends who have gone, "Why are you lying on your profile? There's no way Keith Urban said that." And I'm like, "No, why would I lie? It's true." Um, it must have been when I was around in like year 10, I think. I entered a radio competition with 97.3, and it was called The Band That Brisbane Built, and they were creating a band, and all of these different musicians, quite young, a lot of them were in high school, for different ensemble parts. And I got through for guitar and said, no, I thought I was applying for singing. I'm not comfortable playing guitar, whatever, da, da, da. And I went through to the singing round, and you'd put in your application and they'd play some of that music and you'd get put into the finals. And Keith Urban was one of the people that they had as like overseeing the applications and people who have um, put their names forward. So he was reacting to my application on radio. So they played a clip of me singing, and he said, like, a few comments about my vocal style. He actually compared me to Taylor Swift, old Taylor Swift, and her kind of sound. And he said that, yeah, I'm in a lane of my own. I think the way I saw that, I really liked that, because I think in the music industry, there's a lot of competition. So you really do have to stand out, no matter what way that is. And I've always found that for me, myself, my voice is the thing that I hope to differentiate myself from other musicians. So when he said that, I think that's what he was kind of
That's
referring
always
to.
a nice.
Yeah,
That's always quite nice, isn't it? When you got
it
your
was
boss who's
it was very nice. Yeah,
okay.
he's a big inspiration as well, because he's in a field that I really aspire to be in. Yeah.
Yeah. So, uh, as you mentioned, he was on radio talking about it. You're obviously
Mm,
you've got a radio show on for Triple Z.
I
I get
do.
that right?
Yes, I'm wearing a Four Triple Z shirt right now.
Okay. Presenting. Um, so first of all, is this it's sort of a two-part question. So you've
Mm,
got a minor in journalism as well.
I do.
So
Yeah.
how has that helped you with being in 4 Triple Z? Of course, you interview other artists.
Mhm.
Um, and also, can you explain for anyone who's not in Australia, what
Mm.
is 4 Triple Z?
Yeah, I'll start with that question. 4 Triple Z is Brisbane's local community radio station. So it's all volunteer run, which I think is really cool, because all the people that work there really want to be there and are passionate about community radio. What we're all about is celebrating the diversity of our community. So 4 Triple Z runs a lot of events, and they have all of these shows 24/7, digitally and live to FM radio, um, with all of these really unique, diverse shows. So you've got punk shows, you've got shows like Brisbane Line, which talk about news, and then you've got folk shows. I do a folk show. And actually, right now, I was there at the station today, and it's Radiothon, which means it's our big subscriber drive. And we're really trying to get the community in supporting what we do there. Um, so, in regards to journalism and how it's helped me with 4 Triple Z, it was actually the other way around. I started at 4 Triple Z in an internship in the newsroom. I
Nice.
thought I was applying for a music internship, rocked up at the interview and realized that's not what I was applying for. But I went ahead with it and I fell in love with it. I was writing news bulletins every hour, presenting them, and said, "Hey, can I stay?" They said, "Yeah, sure." I applied for a show, and this year at university, I had to pick a minor. I wasn't sure what I'd want to do beforehand. And I found this love of journalism actually at 4 Triple Z. So that's when I started doing my journalism minor. And it does very much all intertwine. Like I find what I did at 4 Triple Z last year has helped me actually doing my minor. And my minor in turn has obviously helped me with my interviews, which I do on the show weekly.
Nice. So you mentioned about the promotion drive for Triple Z. I've heard about
Yeah.
this recently because I listened to your show from last Thursday. Um,
Oh, awesome.
it's
Yeah.
about me trying to get some background. And
Radio.
oh,
It's the
yes.
poster.
So what what
I've got all the merch here.
so what type of drive and promotion are you doing for Triple Z to try and get it out to more and more people?
Mm. So each year, yeah, we've got this thing called Radiothon, and there's a different theme each year. This year, it's community sounds different. So what we do to, yeah, get more subscribers and more interest with the station is each show tries to do their own thing to celebrate community. So for me, I'm having Delilah Rose, who's another artist here who does something called the Song Cafe. She's very much a community person. I'm having her on the show. I'm having a whole playlist of the music from the artists who've played on my radio show. And I'm really pushing out the importance of supporting community because we couldn't be alive really without the support of the community. And then for Triple Z, they're putting on heaps of events. So we've got events at the Triffid, which is a music venue, lots of live music and broadcasting outside of the studio. So today they had an external broadcast at Netherworld, which is just a little pub across the road. So
Oh,
all sorts of things to really get the community involved in what we're doing at the station.
nice. Because I mean, I suppose like for Triple Z, sort of
Yeah.
smaller musicians as well, when they're trying to build a fan base, that kind of it's all about community engagement and trying to build a fan
It
base
is.
where you are first
Mm,
before you
mm,
branch out.
mm,
Um,
mhm.
but just to go back to you for a minute as an artist, uh,
Yeah.
out of curiosity, you play a fair range of instruments. Um, it would be good to know what instruments do you play, what instruments don't you play, what instruments would you like to learn how to play?
Yeah, I like those questions. I play guitar, clarinet, ukulele, harmonica. I sing. I play very basic keys. I recently picked up a bass guitar because I mean, if you play guitar, you can have a go at bass kind of thing, and I really enjoyed it. Um, I've played a banjo, which is cool.
Banjo.
I really love it because it's a guitar banjo, which makes it really easy to play because it's the same like physical build up as a guitar. So all of the chords and structure of the notes you're playing is the same as a guitar. But I would really like to learn how to play like a banjo. I want to get better at my harmonica playing because whilst I know enough to play some songs and bring it out at gigs, I'd really like to be a pro on the harmonica. I think that would be such a fun party trick. Um, and one instrument that I've always been really drawn to is the oboe.
Oh,
Um, I love the clarinet. I love classical music, and I always wondered why did I never get the opportunity to pick an oboe while I was learning and playing at school because I think that's a really cool instrument. Yeah.
okay. Nice. I'm just the banjo sort of threw me because it's not usually an instrument that you hear that people want to learn. Usually, it's
Well,
kind of
I'm a massive folk fan, folk country
fair enough.
fan. So yeah, it's fun.
Fair enough. Um, so what you mentioned previously about the sort of t two of your favorite songs to perform. One of them you mentioned to playing more solo. The other one you mentioned with a band. What made you want to form a band?
It's a hard thing because I think a lot of opportunities arise through having a band. I think that's the hard thing. Not everyone wants just a solo artist. Whilst I think it's really beautiful and I treasure solo acoustic music, a lot of venues don't want that. So to I guess expand my opportunities and experience, I thought it would be a good idea to really diversify what I do. So I formed a band with some of my good friends from uni who I've met through uni. And we've done 3 or 4 shows now together, and it's really opened up a lot of opportunities and playing with bands that I wouldn't have played with if I was playing just solo acoustic.
Nice. Do you want to give a shout out to some of your bandmates?
Yes. So we've got Evan on guitar, Will on drums, and Arnie on bass. Yeah, they're lovely, lovely group of humans. Really grateful that they're putting time into this project.
Nice.
Mm.
Um, I suppose this is the last one before we jump over to talk about some of your 2 songs that you've released.
Yeah.
What is your favorite song that you've written to date?
Ooh. That's a hard one
Of
because I
course,
like them all for different reasons.
yeah. Well, of course, you've only released 2 right now, so I suppose any that you tell
Mm,
us that aren't those 2
mm,
are part of your new project that
mm.
you're releasing.
Rhythm of Life and Can't Stop Time, which are the 2 that are currently out, would be up there with my favorites for sure. I think those parts are some of the most relatable and catchy, probably parts of songs that I've written. Um, there are 2 songs which I really connect to the most, especially at the moment. I wrote a song called Cursive, which is coming out on the 9th of September. And I've got a song called Watering Can. And whilst I don't think they would be my most popular songs, they're really comforting for me. They're about feeling grounded, feeling like things are kind of going my way a little bit more now and falling into place. I call them my earth songs, like the earth's giving me a big hug. So they make me feel really warm and happy. So those would probably be 2 songs that I really deeply connect to. But I know a lot of people like Bookworm as well. So I like them all for different reasons.
Okay, nice. I mean, I suppose that's the thing about the music now is, and for people that will listen to this and know me well, I am an Ed Sheeran fan. Um,
Yeah.
I know it's sort of mixed opinions in Australia about Ed Sheeran, but whenever he goes and performs live and talks about his music, it's all about the fact that when he's writing them, they're very personal to him. But the minute that he releases them and fans pick it up, it's then their song. They have their own
Yeah.
opinions, memories. Is that
Mm-hmm.
similar sort of feeling for you about your music, or the fact that it will always be personal to you, but the only way to grow is kind of let your fans sort of build their own opinions about music and your words and your.
Yeah. 100%. I don't like to tell people too much about what the song is about or where I wrote it from because songs are written in a way. I think the beautiful thing about songwriting is that lyrics can be interpreted in so many different ways. So, how one person may connect to a song is different to another person. And I think that's great. That's the power of words, right? Um, I think I do understand that feeling of, you don't have it out, it's yours, and you connect to it really deeply and it being out and then maybe not connecting to it as much. But I also think that's something to do with time. Like, I always talk about time, even in my songs, but my song Can't Stop Time, that was really emotional and personal for me when I wrote it. But now when I sing it or listen to it, I connect to it in a very different way and
Yeah.
almost feel a little bit disconnected from it because it's just a different time in my life now to when I wrote it.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Well, that takes us on to now listening to your amazing songs.
Cool.
Um, so we're going to start with Rhythm of Life that you released earlier this year in April.
Yes. Yep.
That's correct. So, so we'll have a listen. We'll mute ourselves. We'll listen to the whole song. So, in which case, those everyone listening to the podcast can hear it. And yeah, we'll have a quick listen. Well, I have to say that was a very, very lovely song.
Thank you.
I don't know, I've worked with quite a few singers and spoken to quite a few singers, but your voice seems to be very delicate and angelic over the music, which
Thank you.
I don't know. I'm assuming, do you work with a producer and other people and mixing and mastering engineers who help you with that sort of thing as well?
Yeah, it's been a real journey and a real process. I've done recordings kind of all over the place to, I guess, get experience working with different people and different settings. I recorded vocals and guitar, acoustic guitar for that track in Sydney at Forbes Street Studios, Universal Music. Um, with Josh Marks. And that was a really amazing experience. That was my first, like, outside of university, outside of school recording studio experience. And then I took those recordings and I brought them to Outward the In Studios in Brisbane with Hugh Middleton. And he laid a lot of the other instruments on the track, and we put electric guitars, piano, bass guitar, drums, MIDI synths, and things. And that was the first time I'd really seen my music in a different light, which was really interesting. I was actually talking with someone about this today, how, like, you have a set idea of kind of what you want, but at the same time, I didn't, because I've never heard my music with added elements, apart from, acoustic guitar and voice. So at the beginning, it felt really weird. Like, is this who I am? Is this my sound? But I think putting trust and having that collaborative process with Hugh created something I never thought I could have created. Yeah. And then for my next single, I've got some recording done here at uni at QUT. So a
Oh,
bit everywhere.
nice. Because going back to your vocals though, because hopefully you're someone that can take a compliment. Because vocals, when you record them, especially now, it kind of feels like it's got to fit exactly with the track. They can't
Mm.
they can't float above the instrumentation. They can't hold their own above it. It's always got to fit with
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
It feels always- I've listened to this song and Can't Stop Time, and it feels like, I don't know, it's just something like your vocals are kind of dancing on top of the instrumentation, and it's such a beautiful.
Thank you. I like that.
But it is such
That's
a.
a cool description.
Oh, thank you. But it's such a beautiful sound when you're listening to your music, and it's just maybe this is what Keith Urban was describing. But it kind of feels a bit different. It feels a little bit, as I mentioned, angelic and sort of somewhat
Mm,
like as well, which is quite nice.
thank you.
Um, do you want to describe a bit about the lyrics? And you don't have to go into complete detail about,
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Rhythm of life is really about the rhythm of life and how things in our life keep changing, and how do we go about that? How do we kind of work with those changes and those ebbs and flows in day-to-day life? Um, I went through quite a few changes at the beginning of last year, and that's what really, I guess, started this burst of songwriting. And this song came quite early in that songwriting process of, like, this is what's happened, changes within friendships, relationships, work, life, and how do we deal with that? You know, that's really what that song's about.
Okay, nice. Um, yeah, I suppose we do need some more songs like that because a lot of them now are songs about heartbreak, about love. Nothing wrong with that because I have a feeling music industry might fall apart if we're not allowed to do that. But I suppose that there's not enough songs which are just purely allowing people just to reflect over their life choices,
Mm,
things that have happened to them,
mm,
which is out of their
mm,
control, which is quite beautiful,
mm,
nice to listen to, something which isn't the
mm,
stereotypical sort of song nowadays, like
mm,
that song. Because of course it
Mm,
sounds like it's a ballad, but
yeah.
it's not a stereotypical
Mm,
ballad, which is quite different and quite nice to hear.
thank you.
Um, so I suppose on that note, we'll listen to Can't Stop Time, your most recent one that you released in June
Yeah,
2024. So we'll have a listen to that and then we'll sort of dive into that a bit.
cool. One, two, three, counting each day. 4, 5, 6, counting each week. 'Cause the longer it goes on, the further you drift along. But I can't pause time no more. 'Cause I'm still here in the room that you left me. The door's wide open, but I can't leave. I'm calling out to you, but the line's disconnected. You shut the door, you moved away. The tide pulled you along. Wake me up out of this daze. Dark gray clouds finding their way. 'Cause I am too strong to let this tear me down. And I can't stop time no more. 'Cause I'm still here in the room that you left me. The door's wide open, but I can't leave. I'm calling out to you, but the line's disconnected. You shut the door, you moved away. The tide pulled you along. Oh. 'Cause you left me with so many reasons to cry. You left me with a card that doesn't say goodbye. Do I have to say goodbye? I'm calling out to you, but your heart's disconnected. You shut the door, you moved away, you hung up the phone.
So, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Um, so do you want to tell a bit about Can't Stop Time?
Yeah. Um, you can probably tell that that is, your cliche heartbreak song. Um, I wrote this early last year, heightened emotion. So it was very emotional song. And it is the most emotional song from my album. So the goal with this one and really creating it to keep that emotion, my idea was to record one take, guitar and vocals, and do pretty much nothing to it in the mixing stage, just to ensure that emotion is there. Is it my best performance of the song? Probably not, but you can hear the emotion in it because it is raw. So that was the goal with
Yeah.
that song, to really keep it at its purest form.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose with songs like that, they won't connect with people and people won't really pick up on them if it feels too overproduced.
Yeah.
And yeah, just if it's too
Or
over,
you do, but you don't know what you're connecting to because you're not listening to the lyrics.
that's
The
true.
more crazy instrumentation and production that's going on, I feel like the less the lyrics stand out and stand on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember this out of the two songs that you have released, this was the one that I did a review on.
Yes.
So the the key line that I wrote about it was Georgia's sensitive, heartbreaking folk song about relationships falling apart is conveyed through delicate vocals as time passes. And I suppose as this situation in your life, as it's been,
Mm,
I'm not sure the time period of how long it's been, but I'm assuming as time has gone on, you've kind of moved on and moved on to new
mm,
other things, which
mm,
helped you and hopefully help inspired you in other ways.
mm, mm.
Different music, hopefully.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. I you know, it's how songwriting works a lot of the time is that, you have your most heightened emotions, whether they are really heightened excitement or really low lows. And, that's how it happens. A lot of writing happens when you're in that peak stage. And what came from that experience was crazy. I wrote this music and I went for new opportunities because I was in a new part of my life, and I went for things, started writing things, doing all sorts of new things, meeting new people. And it really all opened up, which was really cool. So, yeah, like I said before, I connect with the song in a different way now. It's still a really emotional, raw song, but the way that I connect with it now is vastly different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, hopefully the idea behind that song and the rawness of that song will help other people connect with it in their own way.
Exactly.
But
Mm.
hopefully as well, this isn't the last time that we'll hear those raw
Mm.
vocals. Hopefully not
No,
for this
no.
type of scenario, but
Yeah.
hopefully
Yeah.
this is the type of raw vocal that we'll hear from you in maybe future songs from
100%.
this project.
Yes. Oh, 100%. I write from the heart. I'm all about storytelling and emotion. So definitely in a few of my songs, especially the next song, Cursive, it's all about that emotion and that connection. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels excited to hear those because
Thank
yeah, I haven't heard vocals like that in a while, and they are very, very beautiful vocals to hear over the top of your guitar playing, which as well, to give credit to your guitar playing as well, that's really, really nice in that song because
thank you.
so the guitar as well is so delicate. And as you mentioned, I suppose it's because of the genre which you're writing in, which is folk music. Am I right in
Yeah.
saying that you write in folk music?
What are genres these days? I mean, everybody floats between different things. I don't think you can put anything in a box these days. I meet different people and they describe my music differently. I think I had someone today describing my music as West Coast vibes. And, there's a little bit of everything in there. I always say folk dash country dash indie because depending on the track you're listening to, it will have different influences in there. Like the next one will have banjo, guitar banjo in it, and strings and clarinet and piano, and
Okay.
some of them might have slide guitar. So it's like you have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but my
Okay.
passion is within folk.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say because you can hear in the guitar that you're playing in Can't Stop Time, the folk elements in there are quite nice because of course it has the plucked guitar, but it's not
Yeah.
heavily plucked like in some other genres like maybe rock music or anything like that. but it has a subtleness to it, which is really, really nice, and it balances with the vocals really well in that song. So
I'm
yeah.
glad.
Um, so yeah, I think that's everything which I had to ask today. Um,
Amazing.
but yeah, it's been so good getting to know you as an artist, Georgia.
Thank
Um,
you.
Out of curiosity, where can people find you on social media, websites?
Mhm. Mhm. Honestly, wherever you stream your music or connect with people on social media, I'm everywhere. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Georgia Scarlett Music. You can listen to some really, really ancient music on SoundCloud if you want to do a deep dive. And then Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. I don't know who listens to Amazon Music. My grandparents do. Um, YouTube, I've got a music video out and many more to come. So I check out that as well.
Okay, nice. And where can people find you on 4 Triple Z if they want to tune in online?
Yes. Yes. So obviously, we only broadcast Brisbane kind of areas, but you can listen back or listen live on the 4 Triple Z website. So you can just look up 4ZZZ.org.au and you can go to programs and you look up From the Roots. That's my show. I'm on Thursdays, 1 till 3 p.m. Brisbane time.
Yeah, so unfortunately for some of us, we may need to be up a little late or a
Or
little.
you can listen back.
So if you want to listen live in London, you're going to have to be up a little bit early or up a little bit late, depending on your day. Uh, or just listen during the daytime like a normal person and listen back to it. Um, yeah, so it's been amazing having you on this podcast interview, Georgia. And
Thank you
everyone,
for having me. It's so cool to be, zooming from across the world.
well, everyone needs to make sure that they go and check out. So when does Cursive come out?
Cursive comes out on the 9th of September.
Okay. So everyone needs to make sure they go and check out Cursive. Until then, listen to Can't Stop Time, A Rhythm of Life. And do you have a release date on the entire project or not yet?
I don't. I'm just seeing how things go, how life goes. Life is unpredictable. So I think just do it what feels naturally and it'll come out the best.
Well, everyone go and listen to Cursive on the 9th of September. And until then, listen to Can't Stop Time, A Rhythm of Life. And definitely check out Georgia's Instagram because she posts clips of her singing live constantly and it's amazing. So go check that out.
And
And
if you're ever in Brisbane, come to a show.
exactly. If you're ever planning a flight to Brisbane, go check Georgia out live because I'm sure it's so much better than just looking on Instagram. And yeah, so thanks for having you, Georgia. It's been great having you.
Thank you.
Everyone else, I shall see you in the next interview, which I've got piled up until Monday morning of recording interviews. So I'll see you all in those interviews later. Bye.